Welcome to another edition of Horror Tales from Around the Net. Tonight's episode, Sonic 2 Friendship. The Master System. It helped me introduce one of the best mascots that still exists today, Sonic the Hedgehog. Ever since I played it on my own Master System, I've been a huge fan since. Toys, games, posters, you name it. I always play these games, good or bad, no matter the quality of what the Sonic team tried. Although I wanted to keep forgetting about the strange event that happened 2 weeks ago, about the strange ROM. 2 weeks ago, I was playing Sonic 2 on my Master System. The reason I didn't get the Sega Genesis was because it was too expensive during my time. So my mom got me the Sega Master System with a free copy of Sonic 2 when it was my birthday. After failing to get all the Chaos Emeralds once again, I failed like 13 times because of the special stages. I decided to calm myself down and do something unexpected, finding and playing the Genesis version of Sonic 2. I still had my Sega Genesis emulator on my PC, so finding Sonic 2 shouldn't be that hard. Luckily, I was able to find it in a few seconds and download it. The first thing I did when I downloaded it was to make sure there weren't any virus actions with it. Luckily, the ROM didn't have any. So I opened up the emulator and booted up Sonic 2. Everything was normal, at first. After the Sega logo screen, it fades into what looks like the present screen, and it said Sonic and blank in. This was weird. Yes, I have seen gameplay of Sonic 2 on the Sega Genesis, and this never happened to anyone. It was probably just some kind of a developer oversight or glitch. After that, it showed the title screen. This is where things got even weirder. As the title screen logo appeared, Sonic came out of the banner as usual, but was sad after pulling out his Let's Go arm. Another unusual thing was that Tails didn't appear in the title screen. Again, I thought this was a glitch or something. I decided to press enter to begin the game. Emerald Hill Zone was the first zone of the game. Man, the zone looked so fresh, just like it came out of the oven. I started holding the right arrow key and jumped to the first platform and... Wait, the first monitor was broken? This started to become weird. Did I accidentally download a hacked version of this? I kind of forgot about the question I asked about myself and ran to the finish line, seeing broken monitors everywhere. What made things even weirder was that there were no badniks or rings scattered around the stage at all, with the only obstacles being spikes on the lower paths. The timer stayed on 0 the entire time, and every pit had been covered up by springs. I finally reached the goalpost, but instead of Robotnik's head, Tails' face, the one that appears if you beat a level as Tails, was on the picture. I made Sonic go past the post, and it spun around as normal to reveal Sonic's face. Sonic ran off the screen as the level ended, but the camera just stayed focused on the sign for a few seconds before fading to black. I was confused as to why there was no level clear jingle, nor was there a tally of Sonic's score. But I guess there was nothing to score anyway. The next stage wasn't Emerald Hill Zone 2, but instead, the game went straight to Chemical Plant Zone, or rather a small segment of Act 1. When the stage started, Sonic fell in with his damage animation, which is a similar approach to certain stages within Sonic's 2 predecessor, Sonic 3. The stage itself seemed fairly incomplete. I felt like complaining, but I guessed that since this must have been a hacked ROM, I just proceeded onwards without issues. Soon I came across a star post that was already activated. Above it was a circle of stars used to transport Sonic to the special stages. Strangely, there was nothing past the star post, so I made Sonic jump into it. And the game took me to... Death Egg Zone? The final stage of the game? This didn't make any sense at all, with the game skipping 8 stages completely. Shrugging it off, I made Sonic run through the small level, but what was strange was that Silver Sonic never appeared in the mini-boss room. I felt slightly relieved for not having to fight a tricky mini-boss. Weirdly enough, the doctor wasn't waiting in his usual spot either. I proceeded on into the massive arena to see if this had any connection to the weird bugs. But what we came across made my heart sink. As Sonic entered the arena, his pupils shrunk as he looked forward, shocked at what was in front of him. And sure enough, I was shocked too. There, right in front of him, was Tails. He was lying motionless on the ground, with his twin tails separated from his body and a small patch of blood on his left ear. Behind him was Robotnik, laughing at the mess. I couldn't believe it. This was connected to the Master System version's bad ending. For a while, I was curious as to why Sonic left alone after failing to collect all the emeralds, and why Tails was absent in the ending. Now, I realized why. Like the cold-hearted man he became, Robotnik had mercilessly killed Tails. Upon seeing Sonic in front of him, the doctor showed his shocked animation, before fleeing to the right of the screen. Alone now, Sonic walked over to his best friend and looked down in sorrow. He crouched down at Tails' corpse and closed his eyes, mourning his loss. During these quiet few seconds, I heard a voice come from Sonic, which sounded like Jaleel White. He sounded genuine to the game, yet crying as well. I'm supposed to be the fastest, but I was too slow to save my buddy. I felt pretty teared up as well, seeing what had happened. At the same time, I felt mad at the doctor for what he had done, becoming a cold-blooded killer who pleasured in murdering Sonic's closest friends. Oh, and speaking of Robotnik, he didn't get too far, standing next to a switch, still laughing his head off at his unforgivable crime. He then jumped on the button, and, much to Sonic's fright, a bomb capsule, not too dissimilar to the one now seen in Sonic Mania Adventures, came crashing down with a 10-second countdown. In fear, Sonic immediately fled the space station, leaving Tails behind, as Robotnik fled to his Eggmobile. The game then cut to outside the Death Egg as the station exploded. Both Sonic and Eggman managed to make it out as the egg-shaped Death Star ripoff started its slow descent towards the surface. It then faded into where Sonic's 2 ending would start, except only the first, second, and fourth storyboard pictures appeared, and Tails was absent in the latter too. I felt upset having failed to stop the doctor, and as the music reached its climax, the scene where Sonic fell down from space started. Only now, Sonic looked sad as he fell onwards to the ground. I watched helplessly as Tails' twin tails fell down with Sonic. Robotnik flew by as the music slowed down and faded out. The game then faded back to Emerald Hill Zone, but it was now a lot darker. Emerald Hill's theme played at an incredibly slow speed. Tails' tails were at the start position, and Sonic was now completely white. He left a strange trail behind him as he ran. I didn't know what this was about. I went on the lower path at the start, and ended up accidentally touching some spikes. However, strangely, Sonic didn't die upon touching them. In fact, he couldn't die anymore. The realization hit me like a ton of bricks. Sonic had become a ghost, straight after he died from his fall downwards, and Tails couldn't save him, because Sonic wasn't able to save Tails. I made Sonic walk on through the empty void of what was once a beautiful landscape, eventually seeing the crashed Death Egg in the background. I assumed that Tails' body was still inside, torn apart. I may not have played every Sonic game, but I'm pretty sure that this never happened in any of them. Not even graphic content like this in 16-bit form. At the very end of the stage, I came across Robotnik and his Eggmobile, with the doctor laughing with glee about what he had done to his worst enemies. Sonic stopped in front of him and went into his lying down sprite, looking sad. The stage had finally faded out after 20 seconds of that screen. The last screen that appeared was a black screen with Sonic and Robotnik still in their poses from before. Just behind Sonic, I could see Tails, with his eyes closed and a ring above his head. Below them was the text, "End," and the music here was completely unlike anything heard on the Genesis. It was a music box remix of the Sonic the Hedgehog title theme. I let my tears flow freely at this point. I couldn't believe what I saw in this hacked game. It made me see a dark truth that came with the game's bad ending. After a minute of that screen, the game finally faded out and my emulator crashed. The ROM somehow deleted itself afterwards. Just to let you know, this didn't stop me from playing Sonic the Hedgehog games, but it did leave a strong scar in my life that I'll never be able to get rid of. I still play Sonic games to this day, as a matter of fact, including Sonic Mania Plus. But whenever I play one of those games, I always remember what I saw that day. I will never forget what had happened. The end. Thank you for tuning in to this month's horror tale from around the net. Tune in next month for another spine-tingling tale. When the stage started, Sonic fell in with his damage animation, which is a similar approach to certain stages within Sonic's 2 predecessor, Sonic 3. No, Sonic 3 did not come out before Sonic 2. You mean successor. Okay. Shrugging it off, I made Sonic run through the small level, but what was strange was that Silver Sonic never appeared in the mini-boss room. Silver Sonic. What? You mean Metal Sonic? I thought Silver was in the in Sonic the Hedgehog 06. Any case. But what we came across made my heart sink. Wait, you're playing with someone else now, or just a voice in your head? Which sounded like Jaleel White. Well, it's good to know he's still getting work, I guess. I'm supposed to be the fastest, but I was too slow to save my buddy. That was my Jaleel White impression. Anyway. After a minute of that screen, the game finally faded out and my emulator crashed. The ROM somehow deleted itself afterwards. That actually sounds pretty good because this ROM sounds terrible. I'd want it to delete itself from my computer too. Anyway.